The coffee is black. The robot is very, very frisky. And I'd like to welcome you to the Tuesday, July 8th edition of Modeling Blog Daily, where Bill just kind of rants. And today I'm going to rant about monsters. No, I'm going to rant about Lego house design. You see arrayed before you a selection of different architectural styles and building methodologies. These two models here are fabulous micro models. I was drawn to the micro models in particular by a pirate boat that I built quite a while back, and eventually designed my own micro Christmas train, which, by the way, you can get the instructions for on the Lego factory website. My ID on that website is called Planner, and you can download the instructions and build that train if you want. Well, these two models here, the Lego headquarter building and the hotel by the sea, are actually out of a set called the Skyline set, which includes the Statue of Liberty and one other model that I have not yet built. Well, last night I did a model of a fabulous beach house apartment, and it's striking in that you can use minifigs, but it's easier to design. What I want to try to get across to you today is the use of Lego in designing your own buildings. My father used to design kitchens and bathrooms. He'd draw them up, and he'd go to the, he'd sell it, and then somebody'd go in there and build it. But he was a designer. My grandfather was into woodworking and did the same pretty much. And my uncle, he built houses, with his hands. He built around 50 houses in his lifetime. Well, my family's always been involved in woodworking. I'm not into woodworking as much as I am into models. But in any case, I built my own house and designed my own house, the house I'm living in right now. And I went through the procedure of getting an architect to draw up some plans. I took some ideas and scribbled it on a piece of paper and gave it to the architect, and he drew up the plans, and there you go. Well, back then we didn't have the Lego. It was probably around, but I didn't know about it. This beach house reminded me of the fact that you can use Lego in a very positive way to aid in your architectural designs. Clearly, this was drawn up and designed by an architect, or at least was by a professional designer. By the way, the interior, they've got a little, see that table there with a cup of coffee and a computer monitor? And then you got a little chair here. It's a way cool model, and a little fireplace so you can build things. Either that's a pillow or a chair, or probably a table, coffee table. There's indirect lighting there with the overhead skylight. You can do an awful lot with the modeling, and if you do it right, you can actually build the model up in mock form before you even give the plans to the architect. Let's say that you were a newlywed and you wanted to build a house, or you're single and you want to build a house, or you're an old man like me and you want to build a house. I tell you what I would do. I would buy 4 of these beach house sets, and I would lay out my house. I build my house creatively with Lego, and I change it. You have you have the doors, the windows, you know, you have styles that vary and everything, but the windows, the doors, and, you know, you can actually take your idea and build it, instead of on paper, build it with Lego. And then, instead of like me, when I went to the architect, I took him a piece of paper, take the mock-up of the house, the Lego model, and say, draw me up some plans. and that would work. The thing about it is, when you do a design like that, you can see visibly in 3D what your idea is going to be. I would do the same if I was an architect and I was going to build a magnificent hotel. I'd probably try to build it in Lego before I even did it on paper, just so I could see it in my mind's eye what it might look like. The nuances of the model would be different than the real thing, but it would give you an idea structurally how big it was and how it would look. So I would very seriously consider doing a mock-up of any kind of a building that I was going to build, because that would aid in my design and allow me to be more creative in expressing myself. Well, when I built this beach house apartment last night, it got me to thinking about the house I live in that I built and designed, and how if I had something like this as a tool to use in my creative process and in the design of this house, I could have seen it before I did anything. Now, you have to, sometimes you might not have a straight roof like that. Well, you can be creative and you can do things. You can use flat pieces for roofs. The idea is just to get the mock-up in such a way that you can show an architect. And if you can't get the roof figured out, well, then just do the shell of the house. Just do the first floor and do the rooms. So you can do so much with Lego. It's a wonderful tool, and it could be an aid to your plans. But in any case, this particular model, and by the way, I do have all of the traditional Lego building models for houses and structures, including the Market Cafe and the Tudor and all of them. I just haven't built them yet. I get about 4 or 5 of these beach houses simply because it has all the parts for building houses, and I have at it. And be creative and take it to the architect and then build your house. Bill and Red and my robot, wishing you and yours a wonderful Tuesday, saying sayonara, friend, sayonara.